I know you gonna dig this.
I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT.
Twin Talk Podcast.
That was that man. That was hands down. I'm taking my pants off and like relax. Ow, something's in my pants. I'm taking my pants off and relaxing. I just got back from getting a couple snacks and getting a little bit of weed, but I had the most uncomfortable conversation I've ever had. No, I don't want to say ever. Most uncomfortable conversation I've had in like a couple months. It was really frustrating. Two things before I say anything. I'm back to not saying names because I don't want anybody to feel bad. The point of me talking openly about how I feel isn't to make somebody feel bad. It's so that I can feel like I can fully express myself. And I can fully express myself when I'm alone right now. And this other thing is, most of these episodes I have to do with the thought of, if I have a moment during the day that makes me stop and think, I want to remember this in 30, 40 years, then I'll most likely do a podcast on it. I want to sit back when I'm old and think back on moments in my life where I had extreme duress, big happy moments, big sad moments, whatever. And I want to just be able to reflect. And this is something I'm definitely going to want to reflect on, because we're going to have a round 2 of this talk. This first time was insane. I don't even... It's a... Oh, God. Oh, my God. And it's such a simple thing. So the thing is, to frame this whole situation, I only care about communication. I don't care how you feel about something. I mean, that's a lie. That's a fucking lie. I care how you feel about something, but I'm not gonna be mad about how you feel about it and then sit there and go like, don't say that, you shouldn't be doing this. I'm not gonna go in like that. I'm gonna go, oh, I deeply disagree with that. Why do you think that? Why would you do this? Well, when I think of what you're talking about, it makes me think of this, and then it makes me think that is an obvious contradiction. How do you feel about those things? And I'm gonna question I'm not gonna just sit there and act like you're from my town and you get what I'm saying. I'm gonna question you with the things that got me to why I don't believe in it. Because if you can answer those things, then it's going to turn me around. If you can answer the things that I felt like, oh no, I don't agree with that, or I have this justification so that I can push this away. If you have answers for all those things, then I want to fucking know. Like, if you believe in God and I don't, I'm going to go, well, how do you feel about the fact that, like, we don't see any miracles from God anymore? There's a whole Bible of miracles, and God doesn't speak to anybody. God doesn't, like, tell anybody to do anything. How do you reconcile with the fact that every religion basically says the same thing, but it's just like changes names or dates, or instead of a tiger it's a bear? Or how do you reconcile with that your religion seems to be a copy of all the other ones? If I can ask questions like that about religion and you have good answers for that, then I want to know so that I can maybe have a reason to believe in religion. I'm not trying to be religious. I'm trying to always stay open and not pretend that my myopic view is the end-all, be-all of how I should think or feel or react to the world around me. I hate people that do that. And every single friend of mine does that. And the first half of it is like, I can only expect people to do that. Or at least, like, I should say, there's a part of us, there's a piece in every one of us that is going to do that. You hear something that you disagree with, and the first thing you do is react. But what I hope people would do is realize their bias or realize how they feel, let that reaction happen, or hold it back, and then go a little further and be curious. And that can be turned on and off at different times. We don't always have to have these serious 4 levels deep philosophical discussions about everything. Sometimes we can just joke and be dismissive and laugh and talk shit. But contextually, there are moments where you should probably be curious about what somebody is fucking saying to you. If somebody says something to you and you don't fucking get it and you say, "Whoa, what would you do? I don't get, why would you say that? I don't get what you mean." When they start to tell you why they got there, don't in the middle of that go, "No, that doesn't make any sense because whoa, no," and start talking while they talk. How do you expect to understand? How do you, like, I walked with this man for like 3 blocks and he just kept asking me what I'm talking about and then jumping on me to tell me why it doesn't work. And then when his reasons for what I was saying weren't making any sort of a dent, he starts turning to, and I don't know if he did this intentionally or if the whole talk he's been feeling like this. He started turning to, "You've been feeling some kind of way about me all day. You're secretly mad. You secretly have something like going on, bro. What's really going on? What's really going on?" I keep telling people, I'm going to tell you how I fucking feel. If I'm not going to tell you how I fucking feel, you won't know because I won't even go into the topic. And I've told the friend I'm talking about, I've told 2 other friends, "Hey, I don't know how to tell this to him. I'm thinking about how I tell this to him." And then I flip it around in my head for a little while. And then I go and I talk to him. There is never a time where I just sit there and put my real feelings away and put a mask on, unless I'm playing a game. It's so, especially when it's like, once again, contextually, we're in a serious situation. I want to get through it and be communicative. The only thing that's interesting for me is to say how I really feel. If I don't say how I really feel, so you don't have something real to work with, then what are we talking about? We might as well be making up fairy tales. We might as well go to our separate corners and go jack off. If we're not going to be real, shut the fuck up. So, let's frame everything. What's the whole conversation about? What was being misunderstood? What did this dude not get? What was he pestering about? It all comes down to graffiti. Let me take some water. I'm really annoyed. It all comes down to graffiti. So, I've always, because I'm an artist, actually, that when I just said because I'm an artist, I was going to talk about, because I'm an artist, I have a passing knowledge of graffiti, like most artists do. But it made me remember something, that the way that graffiti people talk about graffiti to quote-unquote regular people, they act as if they've unlocked a secret code that nobody else has seen before. They act like I don't think being an artist is special, because I think it's special because it's beautiful and it's fun to be one, and there's so much personal growth and personal, like, stories to work out and discover and enjoy and remix. There's so many great things about being an artist, but generally I don't think it's special, in the sense that I think everyone's an artist. I think being an artist is almost the natural human state. So I don't revere it as something better than a bunch of other things. I look at it basically as the norm. When I see graffiti people, they walk around as if nobody's ever drawn on a wall before, and it fucking pisses me off, because it's like it gets my goat, because it's that cult mentality thing. It's like a bunch of school shooters got together and went, "Yeah, nobody gets it but us." It's like the cringe part of Fight Club. "Oh, I've been dejected from society, but you know what? All of us get it, and they would never get us, and we have something special here." And I see it in comedians too. The way, like, Joe Rogan and other people talk about comedians, they go, "There's really like 1,000 of us. We're really like masters of our crafts. We're really swordsmen. We're really comedians." No, you're not. Comedy is not a science. Comedy is a feeling. Comedy is magic. Comedy is a moment. There are people on TikTok funnier than Joe Rogan's ever been in his entire life, and all they do is, like, make noises or lip sync or do a funny dance that's edited in a weird way. I hate when people take what they do and blow it up bigger than what it is. So when I started talking about homie about graffiti, he kind of talks to me as if like I've never seen this before. And that gets me a little bit annoyed. Like, we'll look at some graffiti things and be like, oh yeah, people do that with rollers. And in my head I'm going, do you think I don't know how people paint? And he would respond to that by being like, no, man, I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to say how they do it. I know you're just trying to say how they do it. But why don't you realize that I obviously know how they do it? I know you're not trying to be rude. Your first thought wasn't to be rude. Your first thought was to inform, because your first thought was to assume that I don't know. Your first thought should be, yeah, he is an artist. Of course he knows this. And just things like that make me a little bit peeved. But not even like, I gotta push away from saying things like peeved or mad or annoyed, because I use those flagrantly. I'm not peeved. I'm not mad. I'm not annoyed. I'm passionate. In the grand scheme of things, I don't care about any of this. It's interesting. It made me feel something. And so now let's talk and examine that, and then let's move on. That's how I feel about all of this stuff. So in the middle of our conversation, when he started telling me that I'm mad, and I tried to tell him, dude, I'm not mad. We've gone in this conversational circle 7 times, and I'm passionate, and you're not even trying to understand me. So, of course, I'm going to look mad. I'm going to look exasperated. I've been going in circles explaining this to you. Alright, so, he's in the graffiti thing, and I like to bring up a lot of stuff about graffiti, because I want to... I'm not satisfied with just sitting there and being like, all right, he liked graffiti, it is what it is. I want to tinker with that. I want to open that up and look inside. I want to see, what does he mean? Well, is he down for this? Is he down for that? Well, what if graffiti goes to this length? Would he be cool with that one? Like, I want to excavate this entire idea and talk about everything inside there and have fun with that. And sometimes when I bring up, I don't bring it up as formally like this. I'm in my head thinking this, and outwardly I'm trying to go slow, and I try to go step 1, I go, what do you think of this? Then step 2, I go, okay, now that you think that, what about this? And then I go, well, okay, what if we set it to here? Now how would you think about it? I like to go down the line very slowly and get into everything. And so when he gets trapped up on the first step, and he can't even, it's what I'm trying to describe is like, you build up a hypothetical for somebody to test and see where their morals are at, how they are mentally and emotionally with the subject. It's a little gnat. How they are mentally and emotionally with the subject, and we can't even get past the mentally and emotionally part. It frustrates me so much. I want to move it away from graffiti to like choose a metaphor for what it's like. It's like you talking to somebody who is religious, and you're like, hey, let's go to the swimming pool. And they go, oh, I need to go get like my little 1-piece bathing suit. They go, oh, I got a couple 2-piece bathing suits you could wear. And this girl's like, no, I can't. That's really like, what's it called? I don't know. I'm going to look real religiously ignorant right now. What's the word for that shit's not cool because God said don't do that? That's not what a good Christian does, blah, blah, blah. If you looked at that girl and said, hey, let's question why you have such an emotional reaction to wearing a 2-piece bathing suit, and you try to break it down and go, well, what if you did this? Well, do you really think you'll go to hell if you show your stomach? Well, if she can't even go into the hypothetical to question what it might be like to step out of the reality of this is the only thing that's okay, if that person can't even step outside of that, that's the problem for me. That's for like I've said before, I love all of my friends deeply, but I also have a tier list of where my friends are at. Most of my friends are in C tier. And that's not because they're a bad person. That's not because they're not, it's because there's only a certain distance that communication can go. And it can go both ways. Either I don't understand them, or they don't understand me. None of this is about I'm smarter or more equipped than other people. I do believe that I'm more equipped than some people, but the point is that There are places I could go where I'm the dumb guy. Or there are places I could go where I'm the smartest guy there, but the way I communicate isn't how we communicate. This stuff is very nuanced. It's not my friends are dumb and I'm smart. It's I've had conversations with you where I see that your mind, the hypothetical and the game can only go so far before the emotional wall comes up, and you don't have the curiosity or mental ability to hold your feelings back and go further. You can't go plus ultra on it because you're too emotionally invested. And I've been trying to break this in my homie's head by, like, we've had conversations where I go, hey man, the thing that I try to tell people in all of this stuff with life is don't be emotionally invested. Talk about it like it's a movie. You feel alone and you feel sad and you feel weak and you feel like nobody cares. What would the main character in that movie do? Go. You know what to do. And instead, people get invested and go, well, how can I just be emotionless? It's my mom. How can I be emotionless? It's my dog that's lost. How can I not care? It's me that's hungry. It's like, you have to get to that Buddha level where you realize that everything is what it's gonna be. And instead of getting wrapped up and angry about it, be passionate about it and try to gamify it. We see 1,000 million people doing this way better than I could ever explain it. And to me, that's where people start to separate. It's not money. It's not your looks. It's not any of that. It's how wrapped up in the game are you. Like, I literally said to my friend, you've chosen your matrix. And he went, no, wait. Okay. So let me just, I keep getting sidetracked because I'm so passionate about all this. Some could say emotionally invested. Who knows? Does it even matter? Who knows? The whole thing came off of me trying to question his beliefs in graffiti. Because it's weird for me. I'm a person who believes that nothing matters. Nothing means anything. Nothing has inherent meaning. Nothing matters. And that doesn't mean fuck everything. I don't care about things. That just means, wow, you're free to decide what you want your world to be. And I think that in itself is more beautiful than religion. It's more beautiful than a lot of other ways that people want to describe life or ascribe meaning to life. So when I see people, and these people being graffiti people, when I see people start a group or start a culture that's basically to push away from society and say, I don't fuck with your rules. You can't tell me what to do. And to show you that, I'm gonna fucking write my name on this building. Boom, that's mine now. I don't give a fuck what you say. People who swim in that ideology look like fucking idiots to me when they then are in their little group going, nah, bruh, that's not cool. You can't write over him. You have to have some fucking respect for the OGs, bro. You can't do this because of that. Well, bro, you gotta respect the rules, bro. Respect the rules? You don't respect the rules of society. And it would be one thing if he just went, yeah, man, we made rules inside our own thing, and everybody hates society to some degree, but when humans come together, they're gonna form some kind of structure, and these are just the structures that we've decided that we're okay with. If you say that, I have nothing to fucking say. I shut up and I go, yeah, all right, well, great. You've looked at what you have and you've decided how you want to move, great. But instead, he's going down all these paths of like, nah, bruh, because if you tag over that person, you're a toy, bruh. And what, that just means you're a toy-ass bitch who, like, doesn't know how to, like, get up or find their own spots. Like, nah, bruh, there's a culture, like, ethics and a way that you do things. And I'm trying to say, the way that you push against society's rules is cool. And then the way you go into your group and make your own rules about what you can and can't do with art is fucking stupid. And he's saying back, no, it's logical, it makes sense, and it's something that we should have respect for, because if you want to be a graffiti artist, you should do these things. And people who are toy, and people who are trash, and people who don't know how to get up, and people who can't find their own spots, they go do that thing. He's indoctrinated. That's why I said to him, hey man, all you're doing is saying to me that you are in love with your indoctrination, and that's fine. If you like it, That's fine. Later on in the conversation, he's like offhandedly saying to me, "Why isn't it just okay that like these are rules, bro?" And I keep yelling at him, "You can have whatever rules you want. I don't think you shouldn't have these rules. Personally, I wouldn't have the rules. If I was doing the graffiti thing with you, I would be like the Joker. I'd be a rogue. I would not follow any of these rules." And then he's like, "Oh, well, hey, man, if you want to get beat up, that's a great way to do it. If you want to get beat up, you should go around doing that. If you want to get knocked out, then you should go around doing that." And so my response to that was, "Hey, if you want to go to jail, you should go deface a building. Hey, if you want to get felonies, you should go spray paint across the country. Hey, you should go deface somebody's house if you want to, you know?" And he just goes, "Oh, nah, bro, that's not, come on, bro, that's not the same thing." It is the same thing. Rules are enforced with violence. You have created your own matrix within the matrix you despise. Shut the fuck up, accept the indoctrination, and just say it is what it is. Don't look at your handcuffs. Don't look at your fucking handcuffs and tell me they're gold bracelets. Don't do that. And so what got me this riled up is that while we're walking around, he's constantly saying, "Dude, I don't get what you're talking about." And then as I would start to describe what I'm talking about, he would go into telling me why that doesn't make any sense. But he wouldn't let me get past the first sentence of answering his first question. And so it just kept being this cycle of me saying, "Okay, well, here, let me explain." And then him interrupting to say it makes no sense. And me saying, "Well, if you would just listen, here's what it means." And he would say, "No, but it doesn't mean anything, because it doesn't mean anything." He wouldn't let the answer come out, but he kept asking for an answer. And then when I was getting frustrated, he'd say, "Bro, I don't see what the big deal is, bro. I just want to know." When you do that to me, I start to, it gets to a point where I'm like, I don't want to yell at you, because yelling at you, when I yell, my yelling is like, it makes people feel like, "Oh, you want to fight me." Because I yell with my chest out. I yell with a lot of bass. I yell with "You stupid!" You're fucking idiot. And it's not, that kind of yelling is only reserved for me and my brother, because me and him do it to each other. We realize this is passion. It's not going to go, I hate Adon and he hates me. We have problems that need to be worked out. Our rapport needs to be fixed. But we can yell at each other and just realize we're just yelling. Even when it sometimes spills over to being way too serious. But my point is, I can't yell at him because he's already not understanding. And I think that if he already thinks that I'm just getting angry, me yelling more is going to make him go, "Bro, you trying to fucking square up with me or something?" This isn't to call, he's not dumb. But he has hair trigger emotional reactions to things. That's why the talk for him, I almost got the gnat, it's so quick. The talk for him can't just be let's investigate this. It's but this is my thing. This is what I do. I was telling him, it's hard to go this deep on critiques with people, because a lot of the reasons that people do their passions are trauma based. And a lot of graffiti artists have this sort of, the world won't listen to me, the world doesn't care, the world is rejecting me, and I will be fucking heard. You will fucking hear me. You know what? You'll fucking see me every fucking day. I'm gonna write my name on every stop sign, and no matter how much you try to ignore me, you're gonna fucking see Snoopy Doop on every single sign. You see Snoopy Doop on every fucking alley that you go down. And it's like, they're like LARPing. They're like survivalist nerds. They're like LARPing nerds. They're going, "I have no power in society, and so the power that I will have is to destroy a little bit." It's tagging graffiti is literally, at the core of it, what it is, it's a child's tantrum. And so when you've jumped into something from an emotional trauma point of, I feel like I'm powerless, and this gives me some power. They make up names, superhero names, and run around in the middle of the night tagging things. They're LARPing. They're LARPing to have some sort of power and control in their lives. You can't look at those people and say, examine your shit. Very few people want to sit down and look in the mirror and examine their trauma. We're not alive to examine our trauma. We're alive to react to it. We're not even alive to react to it. We happen to be alive, and now we will react. Damn. I'm having trouble deciding if I'll name this podcast what's it called? What's it called when you've been I'm either gonna call the podcast Indoctrination Nation or We Are Alive. So now we will react, or whatever I just said a moment ago. I like both of those. It's so fun doing a little podcast and try to make a fun, cute title that goes with whatever you were saying. Yeah, I think that's basically the essence of how I feel. And I was able to keep it under 30 minutes, so maybe I should just stop. But it really makes me angry when I realize that the only way to get out of these uncomfortable moments with anyone you love is to be honest. And so it makes me really mad when I'm talking to my friend and I'm telling him, I'm going to tell you how I feel because that's the best way to solve anything. And the whole time I'm telling him how I feel, he's telling me, nah, bro, you're mad at me about something else. No, bro, there's something going on. You've been acting differently towards me. Blah, blah. So you've been in your head stewing, saying nothing, thinking something's going on. And now that we're in an argument, a disagreement about a stupid topic, you can't just look at me and go, oh, you feel how you feel because you're telling me. You're taking all these feelings you've been having for, the last day, the last 3 days, last week, and you're bringing it up now. And it's that shit is so fucking annoying, bruh. Because this is really when I get angry, because it's I want to yell and shit because I don't have these types of conversations with my guy friends. We just talk to each other, say how we feel, and that's just it. Even if we don't go deep emotionally, we just say how we feel to each other. With my artist friends who are guys but more emotional, we'll get deep into emotional shit and just say how we feel to each other. When you're getting to the point of being no, that's not how you feel. How do you really feel? No, just tell me how you really... Now you're acting like a girlfriend. I'm not fucking you. We're arguing you're not taking me at face value and getting petty and no one's getting pussy? That's so... It makes me so angry because it's dude, we could just talk to each other. Stop having these emotions and feelings that you feel are hidden and now you're thinking something's going on. What? We hang out almost every day. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe people need breaks. Maybe here's what I think needs to happen. And this is the most fucking melodramatic answer, but I feel the need to say it. It's a part of how I feel. It's a little small 3% down in my gut that I feel. I need to shut the fuck up. I need to shut the fuck up to people in my life, and I need to get off those feelings here. I was listening to a podcast today from a group of guys that I've been listening to for a long time, and one of them was just talking about how they were talking about expressing yourself to the people around you in your life, and they all have relative internet fame, so they have a live stream, they got 1,000 people watching, and so they were just I don't feel the need to do that because I have the outlet here, and because the people in my life, they don't really want to have conversations. People feel how they feel. They want to talk about how they feel. They want to find people that agree with how they feel. They want to bolster their feelings. And those aren't really conversations. And that's most people in my life. I think the people who actually want to have conversations that I can say 100% for sure don't just want to bolster how they feel are Mike and Adon. That's who I know for sure. I've watched them both bolster how they feel, but I've also been able to sit with them and like feel like we're sitting outside of life and critiquing it instead of being a victim to whatever sort of indoctrination you have growing up. So, yeah, yeah. Just say how you feel to people, man. Just say how you feel. And don't, like, if you're gonna be a graffiti artist, be a cool one. Fucking don't follow the rules. Do your own thing. How the fuck, like, it's like, what I don't get why he couldn't get it, because it's the same thing as when, like, my knowledge of rock and roll is so dog shit. But there's so many different rock and roll groups that have come into the scene, created a vibe, and then somebody else comes around and creates a vibe, and then somebody else comes around and follows the vibe, and then and this all these vibes indoctrinate people into how they think they're supposed to act in something like rock and roll. And then it takes another group, a really iconic group like, and then is when I'd have a reference for a certain group that really changed shit, but I don't because of my knowledge of rock and roll is shitty. It takes a really unique group to come out of nowhere and be like, we're bringing it back to the essence of what it really is. Because like all this weird shit, I don't get it. We'll go back to the essence of rock and roll. Somebody needs to tag and do that and say, hey, graffiti people, you don't care about society's rules? Stop being gay and make your own rules. That shit is really fucking weird and lame. But also, I don't want to run around in the middle of the night tagging. I don't want to tag over somebody's shit and then have them looking for me and being like, I have to find this guy to beat him up because he tagged over my name. I'm the only one who tags. Now no one's going to see Snoopy Doop on every street sign. What the fuck? Like, I'm not trying to deal with fucking lame weirdos who have never had power. So they're trying to find little crumbs that they can hold on to. And I don't know. I was going to say something that's really mean, but I also agree with it. Fuck it, I'm going to say it. This is like, when I'm saying like graffiti artists are trying to hold on to little bits of power, like, my friend posted this, and I've seen other people post this. I've seen many graffiti artists post this. You guys all think this. Tagging your ex's area, so when they walk around, they see your tagging name everywhere, and they won't be able to get their eyes off. Like, they'll see you. Even though y'all broke up, you're still gonna see me everywhere. That is so fucking sad. That is so goddamn sad. Like, really, like, I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. Just really stop. Let's take a moment of silence and you just think about that in your head. Think about taking the time to tag your ex's driving and walking route so that they see you. Meaning they probably broke up with you, first of all. So just 5 seconds, think about that. It's insane. It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. If I had a boyfriend that I broke up with who was tagging my walkway to work or to wherever I hang out, I'd fucking call the police and get a restraining order immediately. I'd find a big dude to walk with me everywhere I go. I'd probably like go find the type of guy that you're most uncomfortable with, and I'd go fuck that type of guy just to be like, oh, you're gonna tag everywhere I walk? I'm gonna make you see the new happy relationship I'm in. But look, but it's weird. But also, I would do that too. Because love, I would do it probably once. Like, the first big breakup I ever had in my life, I would probably do it once. And then after that, I'd go, oh, that was really weird. I probably shouldn't do that. But this is what, like, it sounds mean to call that shit weird. Because it's weird. But this is how I like to talk about life. I can admit that I probably do that. I can admit that I understand the feeling. I can admit that I have sympathy for that feeling. So I'm not making fun of it. I'm talking about it in its entirety. And really, as I get older, that's the only type of people I want in my life. Is people who can talk about life in its entirety. people who are curious about life in its entirety. If you're not, get the fuck away from me, man. Get the fuck away from me. Oh, I didn't finish that point from earlier. That I probably shouldn't talk as much because, like, the people in my life aren't dumb, but I have to remember, like, I think everyone's an artist. That's true, but I'm an artist, and I don't say that to put myself above or below anybody. Actually, the way that I'm about to talk about it, I probably put myself below everyone. I'm an artist. Most artists have no morals. They don't really, like, they're unmoored and not connected to anything. And when they are connected to something, they just make, like, cringe political art. Or the only person, no, there's a ton. I'm not gonna say the only person. There's me going hyperbolic again for no reason. But, like, you know, they'll do shit like Frida Kahlo, where, like, everything is about her race and gender or religion. And, like, if that's what your life is, you know, fine. It's fine. But to me, being an artist is, like, looking at everything that life is and playing with it. If you play with just one piece of life, that's fine, but I would just love for you to play with all of it. I would love for you to not be emotionally and ideologically attached to anything and to just let yourself express. But if every artist was that, then artists, you know, it wouldn't be as special and fun. We need artists that only care about the planet. We need artists that only care about, like, hotel artwork. We need artists that, you know, we need artists to be diverse. So I really should just appreciate it and not critique other artists to that level. But if you do any studying about art history, they're all weird. And they're usually very counterculture. And I'm not trying to be counterculture. It's just how I've grown up. I grew up away from hip-hop and rap and black culture, and I grew up outside of cities. I grew up away from McDonald's and fast foods and candies and all these. I grew up in these weird, really weird pockets of life that made me realize no one thought is the right one. Everything in life is circumstantial. Everything is gray. Everything is a nuance. And I think that's unbelievably beautiful. And some people only think it's beautiful when everything is blue, or when everything is red, or when everything is black, or when everything is white. And that's fine. But I need to stop trying to talk to those people as if they can see the gray. I think it's okay to try to, like, grab people and go, hey, wake up out of the matrix. Let's just talk about things. Let's not be indoctrinated to anything. Let's just talk openly about everything. That's fun to do, but I think I should kind of let people show me that that's what they want to do before I just throw it on them. Because it's created a few misunderstandings. If you're not curious, you won't ask questions when I say weird shit. And so over time, you'll think, well, I've got you figured out because you said these few things. And those few things, to me, mean this. I never asked any questions, but those things you said mean this to me. That shit is really weird. Like, we're all using words differently. We're all using thoughts differently. Whenever somebody says anything to you, you have to ask, what do you mean? Why? Can you explain that in a different way? You have to. If you don't do that, you really don't know what anyone's saying to you. You only know what you think of what they're saying to you. And it's just, it's fucking annoying. So yeah. Very few of my friends ask why. And I need to stop pushing on them to care more than they want to care. Meet people where they're at. Come here to express myself. And the people who fuck with the way that I express myself, they'll come in, you know? I don't need to run around being like, would you take this pamphlet? Will you take this pamphlet? You want to talk? Will you take this pamphlet? No, just, you know, I'll just sit in my corner and scream and throw shit at the wall, and people who are down for it will show up. And that's life. So, yeah. All right. Thought I wasn't going to get that out. I had that. I feel so much better now. This is why it's all about expression for me. When we were walking and we were in the argument, I'm telling him, look, I never say agree to disagree, but we just have to agree to disagree at this point because you're not even trying to understand what I'm saying. And he kept going, bro, you're just mad for some reason. Like, I don't know why you don't fuck with me today, but like, and I just kept going, okay, dude, Now I really can't talk about this. Let's just keep walking, please. And talk about anything else, please. And I was walking, and he's slowing down because he's like, what? And I'm walking with a little bit of fire in my feet. And he goes, I heard him say, hey, bro, I'm going to head back because, like, you seem really mad, apparently. And in my head, I thought, if I was the type of guy that wanted to fight off of words, that would have been my last reason. Because I just spent 5 minutes telling you I'm not mad. I just spent 5 minutes telling you, dude, I'm just trying to get you to explore this idea. I spent 5 minutes being like, dude, it's okay. I don't think you need to do what I'm saying. I just want to see how these ideas feel to you. Let's explore these. And it just... It was like trying to get a Trump supporter to understand why they might want to maybe consider that Trump might have done some illegal things. And they're just like, he's a great guy! He gave me cash! He's a great guy! And you just go, dude, can you please just engage with what I'm saying for just a little... Well, what? But he didn't do anything! But they rigged it against him! He didn't even tell those people to go riot! And it's like, dude, you're not even listening. Please, you're not even listening. That's what I went through for not even 5 minutes, like 10 minutes. That's crazy. At first, I thought we were joking, and I kept trying to laugh it off and go, hey, man, like, everybody just has, like, the different beliefs, and, we both want to kind of laugh at society, but if you want to, like, create society within society, hey, we see it two different ways. And I'd say, tomato, it is what it is. And he just kept going, no. Why, blah, blah, blah. And just kept going. And it's just... I hate when people keep going, but they're not trying to understand you. They won't let it go, but they will not try to understand you. Oh, God. But yeah. To shit on society, it's really Fight Club. God damn it, dude. God damn it. All right. Watching somebody work really hard to defend their indoctrination will always be an amazing thing to watch. I wish all my friends were down to podcast, because regardless of how frustrated it was to deal with, those are the types of moments I want recorded, because that was a beautiful scenario of somebody just completely over their head, 100, like 70% over their head. And I don't... It's simultaneously an amazing, beautiful moment I would have wanted recorded so that I could listen to it and we could, like, really break it down. But at the same time, it's a moment that makes me go, yeah, Ian, the best thing for you to do is to sit here and do these podcasts by yourself. I've tried to do podcasts with basically all my friends, and they just don't have the mind to want to figure out why it might be fun or beneficial to sit down and talk like this, recording it. I think it's like anything in life. People don't get it until they get it. If this podcast I was doing had like 1,000 weekly listeners and 50 people on a Patreon getting extra episodes, every one of my friends they'd get it. They'd all of a sudden get it, and they'd all of a sudden be like, "Well, let me try to Well, what should I be thinking about when I have a conversation in front of a ton of people? What is philosophy? What is it?" Like you'd see it, but like everything in my life, I had the gold in the beginning. I lost it because I didn't take care of it, and now I have to do like the beginning of a video game when you lose all the amazing powers that a character has, and you have to work your way back up. That's what 27 until probably 35 is looking like. Fuck, dude. Podcast alone. People just don't want to explore shit. Good God. But also, I love all my friends. I think they're amazing people. I'm so glad that we've spent so long hanging out like we have the last like year and a half. And the last week, actually, I should do a podcast just about how great I felt the last week. Some good commissions were coming in. All Mike was down here from LA, and so everybody was kicking out his Airbnb for a night. He came through here a couple times. I was supposed to go see him today, but things just didn't line up. It's just been like a week of just really good hangouts, long, funny, like sitting with my friends and just laughing for like 6 hours straight. And it really made me feel good. Really made me feel good. And gonna use those good feelings to move until, the rest of the week. Oh, and the friend I'm talking about in this podcast, he was there all this week having fun. Like, I said I hate him. We were walking and somebody walked up that we had been talking about that's going through a big controversy, and I went, "Oh shit, dude, what's up? Oh, that's crazy. We just ran into you in the middle of the street," and immediately when I said that, I went to take a breath to say, "How you doing, man? How you hanging in there? Like, how you feel? Like, life is really fucked up, but like I just want to check up on you and make sure you're okay." I wanted to like share some empathy in that, and before I could do that, immediately the homie with me goes, "All right, bro. Well, you have a good one, bro. I'll see you later. All right." And so the homie who saw us went, "Oh, okay," and he started speed walking away. What happened was they were closer than I am, and basically saying, "All right, well, I'll see you, bro." That was him saying, "All right, bro. Well, get on now. You know what you did, and let's just get on out, go, get going." And it made me so annoyed because I wanted to have the human moment. He's going through something. He doesn't know how many friends and allies he has around him. You don't need to be his friend or ally at all, but how can you not be curious? You didn't go looking for him. You didn't seek out some bullshit. It landed in your lap. We were all walking the same way. This could switch the topic and we could just start talking about something else. We could delve into this very emotional thing that you haven't gotten any closure on for the last couple months. And you just tell him to move on? How do you not have any fucking questions? We've been talking about all the things you would ask him and all the And so when he rushed him off, he got about a block away, and I was laughing and smiling, and I went, "Oh man, I fucking hate you, man." And I was gonna start saying, "We've been talking about how are you not curious to ask him questions?" And when I said that I hate you thing in the joking tone, he went, "Bro, see, like, what's going on with you? Like, why you hate?" He started thinking I was literally saying I hate you. We do this all the time. I'll say I hate you, or we'll get on each other, or like, our other homie, he's very gay, and he does the gay man like smack you on the arm when you make a good joke, or in a moment. We're all just having fun. He was just hanging out with a homie that he said like, "Yeah, we just spent the whole time just capping on each other, just talking shit at each other." So for me, I'm in my head like, "Bro, when did you get so sensitive? I'm treating you exactly how I always treat you. And you're so caught up in thinking that there's something going on." It's just like, oh man, dude. Life is so interesting. The reason I'm not ultimately mad at everything is because it's like, what else are we supposed to do? This is life. This is beautiful. The sad part, the happy part, the scary part, it's all really beautiful. This is the point. This whole thing is the point. So why not examine it like we're in a movie? Everyone's acting like movie characters. Whatever. Alright. You be good. I'm gonna have to delete a lot of shit on my iPad to make room for this. To edit this. But yeah, I got nothing else to say. I love you. I hope you take care of yourself. Bye bye.